Welcome to Friday Copy Over Copy, where we talk about copy and drink some coffee. So I've got some coffee going. Welcome everybody, I'm Derek Johanson. We are going to discuss some member copy today for Friday Copy Over Coffee. We're gonna take a look at some submissions from some of our members in the CopyHour Facebook group, which you should be a member of, which you have to be a member of to be currently watching this. But if you're watching this on YouTube, then you can head over to Facebook and type in CopyHour and you should find us. We are a big group of copywriters. So welcome everyone. I'm just going to go through our Facebook group. There were some submissions from some members of the Facebook group, and I'm going to take a look at their copy. So what we're going to look at is some offer leads that were submitted, and then some promise leads. So these are two of the more direct type of lead, which is just the beginning of the sales message, right? Start the sales message. The lead is direct of all of them. You lead with your deal. You lead with the deal or some guarantee where you say, hey, I've got this amazing thing that is 50% off today only, or I've got this amazing thing that's 75%. If the deal can be bigger, more unusual, that's better. Should have a reason why you're doing this, because there's going to be a lot of skepticism, even from the people that are most aware. If it's 50% off, why is it 50% off? So you need to address that immediately up front, if you can. You don't always have to address it, but it's just a good solid portion that you could add into the sales message. Then normally with an offer lead, what you do is you jump immediately into the features and the benefits of the product. You can have some sales arguments in there, which we'll discuss coming up very soon, but that's kind of up to you. Now, when we look at the promise lead, that is where you're leading directly with the promise of your product. What is the main benefit to your core audience? And you are starting it with that. Sometimes you can lead with what we call your USP. What is unique selling proposition? How are you different? How are you bigger, faster, stronger than the competition? You're going to start with a promise lead, and you're saying right up front, like, hey, I have this product that's going to help you achieve what you've always been trying to achieve. Now, when you start doing that, when you start saying, hey, this new thing is going to help you achieve what you've always wanted to achieve, there's going to be some skepticism that's going to pop up with that as well. So a lot of times the promise lead can be almost an incorrect type of lead to use if you have a lot of skepticism in the market. However, if you have a lot of greed and desperation in the marketplace, if you are in marketplaces where there's like weight loss, fat loss, dieting, if there's some sort of physical appearance that people really want to get rid of, like acne, if you are in the make money space, there's going to be greed, right? If you're in kind of the health related spaces where there's a lot of desperation, you're going to have desperation. And when you have those two things, starting with a promise can be fine, right? Starting with a promise can be fine. Now, when you have a promise lead, it can be tricky, or some things to look out for, I guess, will be when you have a headline that is pure promise, like how to do this, or learn this. When you have those type of headlines, like lose X amount of weight in this amount of time, like when you have those headlines, often what you're going to see, especially in today's day and age, 2020, you're going to see a promise headline, and then you're going to see a story right after it. So that's technically a story lead. It's technically a story lead, but with just a promise style headline. So I just want you to watch out for that, because you'll have a promise up top in the main headline, and maybe even in the sub headlines, kind of like that headline just like block. You're going to have, like with the pre-headline, the headline, and the sub-headline, you're going to have a promise, right? And then from there, you're going to jump into a secret, or no, excuse me, sorry, a story that kind of details this person's journey. So just something to watch with promised leads. Okay, so all of that said, hi Derek, how are you? I am great. How are you guys doing? Thank you for in and letting me know that you can hear and see this. That helps me. At least the hearing part. So let's look at a submission that was for an offer lead. And this is from Nathan. So offer lead, let's take a look. Get 50 high quality leads per month or you don't pay. All right. Cool. So guarantee, leading with a guarantee, right? We have a promise right here. Get 50 high quality leads per month or you don't pay. So if we are going off of pure offer lead, and I haven't read the rest of this, if you're going off of pure offer lead, then this lead should center around this fact, not paying. Obviously, we need this promise in here of getting getting 50 high quality leads. But the biggest, you're saying, the biggest portion of this is that guarantee, which is like you're not going to pay. So how do you know something will work without trying it? Perfect. You don't, or at least you can't be 100%. How frustrating it can be to pay for something that doesn't work. So that's why I don't feel right about charging you if I don't get you results. Bring you a 50, or sorry, my ad writing services as an experiment. If I can't boost your leads, then I don't want you to pay me. And why would you? The reason I'm offering this trial is so you don't have to worry about paying for something that you never get the value out of. In addition, you don't have to hem and haw deciding if it sounds like I'm offering, if what I'm offering will actually work. Instead, just give it a try and let the results speak for themselves. This is an offer lead. You did it. You did it. The only thing that I would mention is you did a really good job in here, and it might be somewhat incomplete, right? Like this could just be kind of the beginning of what you've got going on. The only thing I would say is I would come back to this concept of 50 high quality leads, right? Like I'm going to get you 50 high quality leads. You might need to mention at what price, at what cost, how are you going to get people these leads? I mean, you're saying ad writing services, so they're obviously going to have to pay for the ads. So you might need to include some, even within describing your guarantee, which you did a really good job of, I would just include a little bit more about getting high quality leads, like 50, like that concept of getting 50. I like the specificity of that, right? Like being specific is very good in copy. So, and especially if you can be like unusually specific, like oddly specific is kind of how I describe it. If you can be oddly specific, you're in a good place too. So like, even like, I'm going to get you 52 high quality leads per month. Then you're like, what, why 52? That's weird. That might be something that you want to mention. Also, you could break it down to the industry a little bit more as well. You might need to niche it down a little bit, but it kind of depends on what exactly you're going after. And maybe you could edit it for the type of industry that you're going after. Great, that's very good. Okay, let's move on to another one. So basically what I'm gonna do here is just go back into our Facebook group and try to figure out or find your copy submissions. So it shouldn't be too hard. Let me go and scroll through and find your guys' submissions. Wonder if there's a question here. I'm struggling writing when it's my own stuff. If anyone else has advice, like I'm following along with the course and it makes sense, but whenever I'm tasked to write my own, it's like everything's thrown out the window and my brain goes blank. That is very common. It's very common. Just know that that's going to happen. Some things that have helped. Okay, a couple things. take out or go into text edit if you're going to write on computer. Go to text edit. You can even do this if you're just hand copying or if you're just writing in a notebook. But just start writing down gobbledygook. Just literally just start writing letters and words and whatever makes sense at all. Just the motion, just the action of getting started can be very helpful for you. Just literally just put just type gibberish into your keyboard, and then eventually you'll start kind of settling into something and get you going. Just the simple act of just getting started is very helpful. Another thing that I found to be very helpful is just write one headline a day, or just write one subject line a day. Just one. And even if it sucks, it's fine. But just the simple act of just doing one thing per day will help you get started. So basically how I've been structuring it is I'll do and this is well outside of what we're talking about right now, but there's a kind of I don't even know if I call him a therapist, but an executive coach called Brent Charlton. His name is Brent Charlton. I'll do one of his corrections and talk about this at a different time, but I'll do a correction and then I'll immediately go into writing lines. After that, because the correction involves writing, I actually have to write down, I have to think about my past and write some certain things about what happened in the past and kind of how I'm dealing with that situation now in the present. And then from immediately jump in and just write a couple headlines. Sometimes what I'll do, a really good exercise, is I'll go look at some survey responses that I have. I'll go look at some forums that I've saved onto my computer where there were responses and kind of copywriters talking about some of their issues. If I'm going to be writing about copy, then I'll go in and do that. Obviously, you are going to have a different audience for I could do the same thing with the Clean Beauty Box if I wanted to. But what I do is I go look at their responses, and then I just take something that somebody said and I say, all right, I'm going to make this a promise headline, and I'm going to promise to help solve whatever problem that they had, and I go from there. And I'll literally just write one headline, and often it'll suck, and I'll be like, this is terrible. But at least I have something down on paper. And then the funny thing is, I end up writing 15 more headlines just after just doing that one. But I'm only committing to doing one headline, and that's it. And I can feel like I accomplished something, like I'm doing something that's moving me forward. Hopefully those couple tips will help you get started when it comes to writing your own stuff. Just don't judge it. Just don't judge. Literally, you could even do like this. I've never actually done this, but this might be an interesting exercise. Just write one headline down. I mean, it seems very wasteful, but write one headline down on a piece of paper and then just throw it out, or even better, cross it out. Just cross it out, scribble it out so you can't ever see it again. But just write one headline down per day and then just cross it out if you don't like it or you don't think it makes any sense. That simple act, I think, will get you going, get you started. Okay. Hopefully that was helpful. Let's go. Okay, so I've got Gil. All right, Gil, I'll get those after I do this that we need to pull up. Where? Here's a lead. Somebody promising to solve marriage, which could use a lot of help. Just kidding. Love you, honey. Let's go here. And then there. Okay. Who is this from? I think this is from Joshua. Joshua Winward, right? And then I've got one from Donald. It looks like, okay, this is Joshua Winward. And then I've got Donald coming up after that and Gil coming up after that. So if there's anybody else, please let me know as soon as you can. And I can get to that in this call. All right. This is from Joshua. All right, buddy. Do you want to turn your marriage around in as little as 30 days? So what Joshua's doing here is putting a question mark onto a onto a promise, right? And the promise is you're going to turn your marriage around in 30 days. Okay, so do you want to turn your marriage around in those 30 days? Top marriage expert discovers what it really takes to have a happy marriage. Okay, that's good. That is definitely a plus, right? And you want to have some proof immediately up top, right? You want to have some proof immediately up top. Top marriage expert is definitely an expert, right? It's definitely some proof. If there's anything else you can do in there to, like, top marriage expert seen on Oprah or seen on some sort of media reference, then that might help a little bit as well. But that's fine for now. Like, you can have that up top and then explain down below a little bit more about the credentials. But for now, that's good. And just generally, a couple things you want to think about with headlines like this. Turning your marriage around is not very specific, right? And as copywriters, often what we're going to be doing is working with audiences that have purchased things in the past or tried solutions in the past. It's much easier to write for an audience that has tried something or done something in the past. So you need to be approaching your promises and approaching your leads from the perspective of, they've tried things in the past that have failed. And how does my product help them solve those problems in a different way? So how does my problem solve it in a different way? And what is it about the problem what is it about the solutions that they've been buying that hasn't been working? So that kind of makes for a stronger promise. So do you want to turn your marriage around? Is fine, but is there a way that it can be a little bit more specific? Or like something like, do you want to stop your divorce? And quickly, like, do you want to stop an impending divorce in just a couple weeks, with just a couple weeks worth of effort, or something along those lines? Like, can you be a little bit more specific about turning your marriage around, like making it happier, making it so there's more sex, making it so it's a happier home for your children? Maybe just something a little bit more specific, like reigniting a fire in your marriage, something along those lines. And then top marriage expert discovers what it really takes. So, like, what is it that it really takes? What is that thing? You don't have to reveal it immediately. What is the uniqueness of what you're doing that's different than everything else? What it really takes is not specific enough. So a little bit more specificity, I think, could help. But this is great. Like, this is pure promise lead. Amazing start. So, dear friend, you already possess everything you need to turn your marriage around. You just haven't been shown the right way. So again, sometimes with copy, we're going to be a little theatrical, right? Like a little almost like dramatic. And you just haven't been shown the right way. While this might be true, is there something else here that we could say? Like, you already possess that's an interesting concept. You already possess everything you need to turn your marriage around. You just haven't been shown the right trick, or you just haven't been shown this simple 9-word sentence. Something along those lines. What is like that? What's weird, or what's different, or what's unusual that you have? Like, being shown the right way is not exciting, right? But being shown a simple 9-step or a simple 9-sentence trick, or being shown a simple text message that you can send your wife, something along those lines. Like, what is like different? What is unusual? That is going to grab people's attention. And then maybe in your product, you're going to describe things and show them all the right steps and show them the right way. But from here, just being you haven't been shown the right way just doesn't sound exciting or interesting enough. Does that make sense, what I'm saying? I don't know if Joshua's on the phone call here, but hopefully this is helpful for you guys. Just type Y if this is helpful, and type N if it's not helpful, and then I'll just ignore you if you type that. All right, my name is Frank Weber, and I have, here we go. And I've been a marriage therapist for 27 years. I have seen marriages on the brink of divorce change in as little as 30 days. You could say something. You could say something about I've seen thousands, or maybe put a specific number on the amount of patients that you've seen. I've seen marriages on the brink of divorce change in as little as days. Successful marriages do certain things that I'm going to share with you. If these marriages can be brought back from the grave, I know yours can be too. Okay, client proof. Yep, that's good. You'd want to have some stuff in there. Here's why your marriage is improving. Like most people, your marriage has probably been stuck in a rut for a long time. You keep trying all sorts of quick fixes and expensive therapies that don't work. What many of these solutions fail to address, and what turns your marriage around in 30 days are the behaviors that keep you stuck in those ruts are not creating any sort of long-term happiness with your spouse. Okay, so right here, my course will teach you. I would get rid of that. Even when you're promising them a solution, right? At the beginning of a sales page, you don't want to mention the course immediately right up front. You want to promise to them, right? The purpose of the lead is to get them into the sales argument. And then the purpose of the sales argument is get them into the offer. And then the purpose of the offer is to get them really excited. And then the close is going to get them to purchase the offer. So if the purpose of the lead is to get them into the sales argument, you don't really want to distract from that. You want to promise them about what they're going to learn in the rest of the page, right? You want to promise them about what they're going to learn down below. That's not always true with a promise lead, but on a sales page like this, I would say I would take this out. You can just say, I'm going to teach you how to practice accountability and stop blaming the other person. And the rest of this page, I'll show you how practicing accountability and stopping blaming will change the state of your marriage, something along those lines. And an opportunity that was missed in this particular page would be something right before you transition into the sales argument, which the sales argument in this case would be very naturally an explanation of myths and misconceptions, where this is what you think you should be doing and this is what actually works, right? So that would be a very nice explanation. You think having one date night a week is going to help save your marriage, when studies show blah, 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 blah. So something along those lines, you can kind of come up with a few of those arguments that you might have, or myths or misconceptions that people might hold about marriages. So a very nice transition into that sales argument would be some scarcity as it relates to the marriage. Like you can't afford to let this linger any longer, that type of language. Like you can't afford to not sit down and read every word of the sales page right now. Your marriage is depending on it. From the clients that I've worked with, I've seen that an immediate change right now is what's necessary, and then you could jump into the sales argument from there. So great start. Again, just a little bit more specific, I think, and a little bit more of a focus on your USP and what makes you different and unique from your competition. So a couple things we want to do is figure out why the solutions that people have tried in the past have not worked. And then we need to figure out like what is unique, or what is making them fail. And then we want to think about what is unique about our product and what makes it tick and what makes it different and exciting and interesting. Okay. And then also just a little bit of theater is the term that I use. You already possess everything you need to turn your marriage around. You just haven't discovered this simple nine word text. It's like something along those lines that you can send to your wife right now, like something along those lines would just make them be like, oh, a 9-word text. That's crazy and interesting. I got to read more, or that could even be the thing that they're going to think about if they don't buy your product immediately. They're going to think about like, oh, there's like a 9-word text, or that's like could be the thing that they would tell their buddies about or their friends, like something along those lines. Okay. All right. Now, let me jump back into the CopyHour group. Show, hide, minimize my ugly mug. All right, let's go. Now I've got Donald. I think Donald's here. And let me see here. All good. All right. Is it really possible to change your life in 30 days? Okay, so perfect. This is a promise, right? Change your life in 30 days. Put a question mark on it, kind of tones it down a little bit. Using these recent neuroscience discoveries, finally take control of your life and achieve your dreams. Dear friend, today I'm going to show you how to finally become unstuck and achieve your greatest goals using a brand new system called the 7H method. Are you okay? Perfect. So this is a promise, right? I'm going to show you how to finally become unstuck and achieve your greatest goals using a brand new system. Are you frustrated with defining goals and making plans for your life, but somehow something always seems to get in your way? Okay, so basically we could say that your promise lead ends right here, ends right after system called the 7H method, right? That's where you're saying your promise lead ends, because right here, you're jumping into, are you frustrated with defining your goals and making plans? So now this is more problem solution, right? So now we've suddenly changed a lead that was promise specific. We have a promise headline block, and then we've got a problem solution portion underneath, which is fine. That is fine to do, right? And it's definitely something that you can have and be successful with. But if we're just going pure assignment wise, if you want to have a promise lead, you should continue to layer in the promises, right? So here you want to just jump into what 7H method is going to do, or you don't, and I wouldn't even necessarily mention it to you. It'd almost be like, today I'm going to show you how to finally become unstuck and achieve your greatest goals using recent discoveries, recent neuroscience discoveries coming out of Harvard University, or I don't even know where it would be from. And then from there, you could be like, take control of this aspect of your life. Do this, achieve more of this, become all of these things. Yes, it's possible. These new neuroscience studies have proved it. I wouldn't do this, but don't take my word from it. Here's Sharon Kelly in California. I used to struggle, and then you have her, and I would cut down her thing a little bit. I would cut down her testimonial a little bit, just make it a little bit shorter. But that's kind of the feeling that you're going to go for, right? Is it really possible to change your life in 30 days? Recent neuroscience discoveries say yes. Finally take control of your life and achieve your dreams. Today, I'm going to show you how to finally become unstuck and achieve your greatest goals using some brand new neuroscience discoveries coming out of Harvard University. Do this, achieve this, take control of this, whatever those things might be. So you could what you could really do is you could take your problem solution stuff, which is like, are you frustrated? And you could just turn those into a promise, right? Like, are you frustrated with defining your goals? Finally define your goals and make plans for your life. Because this is what a problem solution does, is it shows empathy. It shows that you really understand the problem, which might be what you need in your particular case, right? It might be more helpful for you to think of it as a problem solution lead. But if we're just talking this course and this particular assignment for CopyHour specifically, then you're going to want to do just a promise. But there is good news. It's not your fault that this happens to you. So yeah, this is now we're in problem solution territory. It's possible to fix this problem and finally become unstuck. You see, you've been misled by all the self-help. Okay, so this is problem solution, right? This is problem solution, because now you're saying the big thing with problem solution leads is this feeling of finally do this, and then more so than that, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. I always think of Good Will Hunting when Robin Williams is talking to Matt Damon and saying, "It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault." And then he's, "Don't fuck with me, Sean." So, amazing movie. Amazing movie. Anyways, so basically, to turn this on its head a little bit, or turn it into a problem solution, or sorry, turn it into a promise lead, what we want to do is promise, right? We want to make some promises versus telling them that we understand their situation. Like the feeling it should be, like the feeling that people should have leaving this is like, oh my God, there's this new neuroscience that's literally going to change my life. And it's going to help me do this, this, and this. It's not, the feeling that we have here is more of like, oh my God, this guy totally gets it. This guy totally understands what I'm going through. And there's this new thing there's this new method that can help me solve it. Do you see the difference there in how people might feel? So this is like, you can almost just use this perfectly for your problem solution lead. Okay, let's move on to somebody else. Already got those. We've got Gil. Oh, Gil's going to be a good one. Gil is going to be a good one because Gil's got some good stuff here. Gil's got something we all need. Testosterone. For a limited time only, we're giving away a free bottle of Vita Alpha Testo, the breakthrough herbal formula designed for men who struggle with low libido. Okay. Oh, wait. So he's saying he's doing this as a... hold on one second. Gil, were you saying you're doing this as a offer, right? Is that what I saw? I can't go back. Oops. I'm completely lost. Where am I? I think he was saying he was doing this as an offer lead. It's because he did a promise lead on the last one. So great, we're gonna look at an offer lead. So again, offer lead, highlighting the deal, right? What is the deal? And then jumping into immediately the features and benefits of our product for the most part. We can have some sales arguments that are related to low libido in general. Maybe you need to talk about why low libido has happened. But for now, when you have an offer lead, I'm going to take this product, Vita Alpha Testo, and I'm going to put it right up in front and say, hey, I've got a deal on this. You get a free bottle, right? So good, we've got that immediately up front. For a limited time only, we're giving away a free bottle of Vita Alpha Testo, the breakthrough herbal formula designed for men who struggle with low libido. That's a good headline, man. That's a good headline. As far as offer leads go, I'm not saying that this is going to be the thing that's going to win for you if you're looking at this type of headline versus another headline. But if people know what Vita Alpha Testo is, this is a good headline. So good job. Why are we offering this amazing product for free? Because we want to unashamedly bribe you. We figure you will want to order. I don't know, it might be a little bit, it sounds weird, but it might be a little bit too big of a word to start, because we want to unashamedly bribe you. could work. I have to think on that for a second. We figure you will want to order more bottles as soon as you're done with this free bottle. Yeah, I could almost say because we want to, in a way, bribe you. We are so confident in our product that we know you're going to order more bottles as soon as you're done with the free with your free bottle. What is it that makes Vita Alpha Testo the most effective male performance enhancement supplement, unlike any other in the market? It's all in the ingredients. We took a very specific amino acid and matched it with 7 of nature's most potent herbs and green vegetables, and then we bumped up the concentration levels as high as humanly possible. Every ingredient in Vita Alpha Testo has multiple strengthening side effects. A plant that pumps up testosterone production to a level that even okay, this is good. This is awesome. Here's what some of the men who had to say. Awesome. Okay, so just a couple things to note. This is great. This is definitely an offer lead. And I guess it would kind of come down to exactly how you're sending this and how you're setting this up as a sales page. But you might want to include some stuff about the safeness, the safety of the ingredients, some logos about, like some of the little badges about the ingredients, and if they're non-GMO, or if there's something else that you might want to include in there, if they're completely safe, if all the ingredients are FDA approved. I don't know, they're probably not, but something along those lines. You might want to have a little bit more about like the actual. So right here, you've done a great job of putting in like feature benefit, like mainly benefit style bullets here. You might want to put in a few feature related bullets here, like what exactly it is, how many pills are in that bottle, if there's quite a bit, that type of thing. You might want to put a little bit more up front, but other than that, this is great. So not a whole lot else to discuss. Gil, you perfectly nailed the offer lead. All right. Now, oh, is that what you guys could see the whole time? Just the side like that? Oh, never mind. Okay. I got to go back somehow, if my computer will allow it. How do I exit this? Here we go. All right. I think that is it for submissions for today. For that particular assignment, I think we're good. Is there anything else you guys want to discuss before I jump off? I have some people on here live. If not, I'm going to take off. Thank you for stopping by, and keep on submitting stuff. I'll keep going through it just like this. I know it's not like a super deep dive into everything, but without me really studying your industry and your product and everything else, that's about as deep as I can go. So thank you all. I will be back again very soon. Thanks a lot. Talk to you soon. Bye.